Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Vinyl Fetish, the Vinyl Fetish Club. What? I'm Randy. This is my co-host in life,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Andy.
And we like to talk about vinyl. I like to play music, you like to play music, and we like to talk. So this is the magic that we have together. So we're doing another record. We're up here in the Vinyl Den here in Portland. I don't know if it's a clue, but according to Drinkify, the beverage of choice for this act is Pabst Blue Ribbon, which I think is a little bit. I don't think Drinkify understands.
I don't think
really,
so
because you just
either.
put a band in and it tells you. I think it might be some weird algorithm. I think they should hire me to design a drink for every band that's ever recorded.
So
and
you don't agree with what they gave you? No?
Maybe, I don't know. I think if it was, it depends on what people were drinking in 1976.
Okay.
So, what I thought I'd do, so you gave me a letter. I thought we'd try something different. You gave me the letter R, which of course is the most used letter in all of rock and roll. It starts with an R, Rolling Stones and REM and Replacements, and like everybody starts. B, and I always thought if I was in a record store and won the contest where they said you have like 1 minute to pick all the records that you can carry out in 1 minute, because they've had contests like this in the old days when they had record stores. I would go either straight to the B's, because that's Bowie and Beatles, or go straight to the R's, because that's basically where everything is at, either under B or R.
Oh.
But there's some good stuff under R, and so the first thing that popped in my head, other than the the top names, were a band. Was a band? Is it were or they was? That's the only
Were.
Were. It was a band. It's what a band is one thing. A band was.
Was a band? No.
A band.
It's what?
No.
I don't know.
Band members were, but a band was.
Okay.
Anyway, was this record from 1987. We haven't done anything from the 80s in a bit, so I thought I'd use that. Okay, you ready? So, when you say R, when I say R, what are the bands that you think of?
You really want me to tell you?
Well, yeah. Are they all Mexican bands?
The first one that came to my mind was Rascal Flatts.
Rascal. I got a lot of Rascal Flatts up in vinyl.
Sorry.
Really? Okay, Rascal Flatts.
I don't like them though. I used to.
Who else?
Is it really the most common one?
It's the biggest section in after the B's, which are right there. The R's are. Come on.
Oh my god.
Linda.
Okay, Ron Strad. Okay, moving on.
Okay,
I get
anyway,
it.
So this is a band that starts with. So this is a band I learned about because of my connection to the Bangles, and all these records are either 2 degrees away from the Bangles, REM, or U2. There's a connection.
All the records you're gonna share with me? Come on.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
So because the Vicky and Debbie Peterson of the Bangles' brother was the drummer of this band for a while, and they are called, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Have you ever heard of Red Kross? We're going to listen to Red Kross tonight. Do you know this band?
Nope, never heard of it.
This is their second big record. It's called Neurotica. It's their first major release record in 1987. So the record I had before them was this one, where they do like Kiss and Rolling Stones covers, and it's really super psychedelic, and it was just like, in the 80s, nobody was really into the 60s yet.
Monsanto?
Yeah, but they were Teen Babes in Monsanto. There were 2 brothers who were just kind of like very good on stage, very performer, long hair, very dressing in like the 70s, and it was the 80s and they were into the 70s, and it was like weird that already in the 80s there was this like 70s nostalgic band.
Were they famous at all?
Not yet, not at this point. They actually had a movie that came out in 1990 called The Spirit of 76, which starred David Cassidy, who recently passed away, about a bunch of people 100 years in the future, and all the documents are erased, including the Constitution. So they have a time machine. They're supposed to go back to 1776 and get the original like Declaration of Independence, but they accidentally go to 1976 and wacky hijinks.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of a bad, wonderful
No.
bad. Anyway, I'm gonna play you this movie. I'm gonna play.
Okay, are you drunk?
No,
you started
it's
drinking
just.
before me?
Well, no, it's just the
This
one.
is your
Naturally drunk brain.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to play you this. It kind of was a big record when it came out because it was very reminiscent of like 60s and especially 70s music. And a lot of people think that this record helped pave the way for grunge. Because grunge, you know, Nirvana and all those guys were kind of into the 70s. They were into the Kiss and Black Sabbath and stuff like that. And so, but a lot of people think this is the record that paved the way for grunge in the 90s.
I love their hair.
Yeah, they had amazing hair. These two guys were brothers and had some of the best long hair you ever saw.
Yeah, girls would kill for that hair.
Yeah. So, I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play the first cut, Neurotica, and you're immediately going to think, where have I heard this before? Okay, but what do you think looking at this? I mean, what's your impression? What do you think you're going to hear?
That looks like makeup goals to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Makeup goals?
Makeup goals.
Oh.
Goals.
Okay, you can explain that to me later.
Oh my god, like you look up to their makeup.
Oh, like
They
you would have
make-
an Instagram channel and you would like paint by numbers?
Yeah, look at that. It's like glittery blue skin. That's great.
Okay.
I love it.
Alright. So what do you think of this cover? I mean,
So,
well, you must have, as an artist, you must have some impression.
well, besides the fabulous hair on these boys, the makeup here reminds me of my first concert
What?
I ever went to.
Was it kabuki?
No,
What?
no, it's okay. Let me explain.
What? Oh, yeah, what was your first concert? I don't even
My
know.
first yes, you do.
I mean, I don't know, or I didn't, it's not an artist that I,
Yeah, you
listen to.
would know, but if you want to look it up,
yeah.
her name and her hair is actually like a combination of all these dudes put into one
Really?
head. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, tell us her name and then we'll
her
like,
name is-
magically put an image of her, right?
yeah. Her name is Gloria Trevi, and it was my first.
Trevi?
Yes, Trevi, and she was freaking crazy. So the reason why she reminds me of the cover, it's because
Sounds good.
her makeup, and because she was like this rebel girl, and I think I was like 5 or 6 when I saw her in
This
Morelia.
is like 2008.
Shut up. I think it was like 5 or 6 in Morelia, and I don't know why my mom took me, because people, like, moms hated her.
Really?
She would wear like this nasty raggedy hair. You'll see a picture of her, and like this crazy makeup, and she was like was wearing like really raggedy clothes and like no shoes, and she like sang about like ketchup.
Ketchup? You think about ketchup?
She sang about like the
Like she
weird.
couldn't get the ketchup out of the bottle?
No, it was not like a children's music, okay? It was not children's music. But I remember in the concert, she brought a bunch of sheep on the stage. And she
Usually
was
when I'm
like,
at a show, that's a bad thing.
and I remember, and maybe you know how we like put memories in our brains that really didn't happen?
Yeah, right.
What is that called?
Well, it's called implanted memories by clinical sex therapist.
Anyway, I remember the sheep on the stage, and she was like leapfrogging them. I'm gonna try to like find a clip of that, because that was so crazy. And that was like my first, and like I remember I was like just going crazy on the what is that? What is the thingy that keeps you from going into like the stage area?
The bar.
Okay, like the chain link fence or whatever. I just like remember that. So
Man, Mexico is a crazy place.
This reminds me
Do you
of
think
her.
she was influenced by Red Cross?
She might have been. I mean, you'll see a picture of her.
Okay. All right.
But yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
You're welcome. Let's rock. Okay. This is the listening part. What does that sound like?
Beatles.
The Beatles, yeah. The rip off the Sgt. Pepper's.
Sounds like Taxman.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like the beginning of it. Wait, is that the Bangles?
Coming from the same scene as the Bangles.
Okay. Are these men?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the McDonald brothers.
Goes with my eye makeup.
Kind of goes with the cover of the record.
Right? I didn't even know. Okay, I got it. Okay. Well, it doesn't sound.
That's like your face.
Yeah, that is.
No, well, not exactly.
Oh my god, I like them a lot.
Yeah, what do you think?
It sounds like you said, the Beatles, but in the background it kind of sounded like the Bangles were doing the backup.
Well, they might be because they're from the same sort of scene, and it was produced by one of the Ramones, Tommy Ramone.
Really?
So it's got a little bit of a punk edge to it.
Yeah.
But it's very garagey.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And they were, you know, this was before thrift stores became cool. So they were finding all this great 70s clothes in thrift stores. And so it was very different in the 1980s to have these guys that were dressed in all this crazy 70s outfits and platform shoes and
I love thrift stores.
yeah. Yeah?
Yeah,
What's your ideal thrift store find?
Anything like that. I mean, yeah.
Like I would love to find like a Brian Jones coat, like fur and something.
The Macklemore coat.
Yeah, you just ruined it.
I thought you liked him.
Yeah, right, yeah.
No? Okay.
Well, you know, how many times have we heard the thrift store song?
Yeah, one too many times.
Okay, so can I play you one more song?
Yeah,
because I thought you'd like, to give you a feel, there's a song called Janis, Jeannie, and George Harrison. So we talk about Beatles influence.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
It's the Janice and Jeannie. Gandhi is dead.
So you can tell that these guys are fans of other types of music. Like they love the Beatles. They love.
Yeah, but to be honest, they don't really sound very unique to me.
Well, because you're listening to them through the lens of everything that came after them.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that sucks.
at the time, you can never. This is the whole concept. Like you can never hear it. You can never hear the music now like it was
at
then.
That time.
Like I always tell people who listen to the Ramones that you can listen to the Ramones, but it's not like listening to the Ramones in 1977. It's a completely different experience when you are hearing the Sex Pistols in the 70s versus hearing them in the 2010s.
That's so sad.
I know. But so, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I always do this. Yeah, fans. They're just fans. They're, oh yeah, very influenced. Oh, their obsession was like Charles Manson. They're really obsessed with Charles Manson because they're from the land of Manson. And they made all these crazy love doll movies out in the desert. In fact, I was supposed to be in one day in a scene called Love Dolls, Revenge of the Love Dolls or something that they were
like
shooting out in the desert. Huh?
Like a blow-up doll?
No, like love dolls, just like
what's
like
a love doll?
groupies, really. They made these low-grade movies out in the desert, and so the whole Paisley Underground gang from the 80s was all part of it. And I was with someone, and we were supposed to go out to the desert and shoot that day, and we ended up not. So I could have been in a Red Cross movie.
I feel like you just picked these people so you could talk about.
No, you said
Bangles.
R. No, you said R.
I I think so.
You said R, and that was the first thing that popped in mind. There's a lot of R. We could have done the ruts. But,
Erotica.
or we could have done rat. Round and round.
Cool.
So,
I like it.
So, hey, you brought up this question. So Red Kross, you want to listen to some more Red Kross? I mean, we could play it. I have some other stuff on CD as well. They're still around. I think they're still playing. They have a reunion every few years, but their hair isn't quite as luxurious and lustrous as it is in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Which begs the question about CDs versus vinyl.
Well,
and having...
Like, last week I wanted to play you another record.
It wasn't even on CD, it was an MP3. What? Or whatever, streaming. MP3s, that's like early 2000. It's not even MP3s anymore.
It's not MP3s.
What is it? It's just some streaming digitized...
Spotify. I mean, I could...
I know, but what is it?
What is
it? What do you listen to on Spotify?
It's a song.
But is it... But what is the thing that is on called?
It's information.
It's a sound file. But what is
it?
Is
okay,
it MP3?
So
Can anybody tell us in the comments what... It's not MP3s, is it? Because that's like the year 2000. That's Napster.
It might be, though.
I'm so lost.
But, so you really care about keeping your music in your upstairs.
Yes. We have one room for the
attic.
vinyl and one room for the CDs. This room also has cassettes, which is a whole nother issue.
So why is that important to you?
Well, format, I mean, first of all, this is the art that was intended for it to be on. This is the artwork as part of it, and it's big. And look, lyrics... sheets, like this is, you know, this is part of it, this experience, but also the sound that it was originally intended to be on. But
also now when records come out, we have the internet for these things, and we have like the artist's Instagram to see all the pictures.
You can't get a paper cut from an Instagram. This you want the thrill of maybe having a paper cut from that record.
Okay, so you're kind of saying that music, like, will never be the same, and that kind of angers me.
Well, I mean, every generation does it. I mean, what will our daughter be listening to in, 13 years when she's a 16-year-old, and what will it be on? And she'll be like, you streaming music, it's already beamed into my cerebellum.
Oh my god.
I know, like this.
Episode of Black Mirror.
It's all coming true, folks.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not...
So,
I think you were more attached to
but
a physical format.
So this is 2 points I want to make. The point number 1, it's good to listen to the music on the format that it was recorded to be put out on. So the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's on mono. That's what they thought of. Like, the stereo was an afterthought. They spent all their time on the mono mix. So to listen to Sgt. Pepper's on mono vinyl is how they envisioned it as they're recording it. So that is like the best way to listen to that record in terms of the artist's intention. So, and if somebody puts something out on CD in, 1997, then you listen to it on CD. A Radiohead on CD is fine. I don't have any problems with it. But the other question is, when you have all these platforms available, streaming, CDs, cassettes, vinyl, which one actually gives you the most pleasure?
Are you asking me? Or?
Yeah, I'm asking you. And then I'll give you the right answer.
I don't care about the format, really.
Really?
No.
Really?
No. I care about the music.
Yeah.
What?
What generation gap happening here? Okay, so maybe this is maybe because I'm socialized to a different generation, but there is a ritual besides the sound and the warmth of the vinyl. I tend to think vinyl sounds better because CDs and especially streaming is very compressed, and you miss a lot of the range that you get on vinyl. There's the ritual of taking the record out, looking at it, looking at the whole thing, and putting it on the record player. And spinning one side, which is like maximum 22 minutes, and then flipping it over. There's like this communion with it. It's like being Catholic, right?
It's like
Can you
church.
Tell me? Yeah, so
it's your church.
It's like a Our Father who aren't in heaven kind of thing. Like, you go through this ritual.
I get it.
And you have this physical connection versus going like this and turning on your system, right? I'm physically touching the record that came from the factory. that is the thing that the people who made it were envisioning that I would be doing.
Okay.
So there is this physical...
So is it my fault for not really caring about the format, or is it the artist's fault because they don't really care about...
No, it's the business. I think the artists do care about it. I think the business...
So then why is the vinyl like $30?
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy that?
Because it's been fetishized.
And also, I kind of feel like if I understand that you think it's like a religious experience or whatever, but if I were to do it, or like if people my age were to do that, it kind of seems a little phony, because it seems like you're trying too hard.
Yeah, I know. You're getting like this overpriced vinyl records
just to,
well recorded.
Just because it was cool before, it like you
this
don't
is
really...
the conundrum, right? What happens? Can you? Is it a no-win situation for you?
I don't care.
Are you doomed to only pose listening to vinyl?
I married you, so I get best of both worlds.
Yeah, there's a lot of vinyl in this house, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what do you think we should do for next week? What should be your gimmick?
My gimmick? We're gonna do, what?
Could it be like an artist? We should maybe pick an artist that I have never met. There's like 3 or 4 of them in here.
Shut up. You're so dumb.
I've never met the Beach Boys.
You have.
Yeah, I actually have. It depends on who you're counting as a member.
I think we should test your Beatles knowledge.
I knew there was a quiz coming.
And for every question that you get wrong, there will be a punishment. Oh, God. What do you think?
Okay, because you know.
Or we could do a music couples Q&A.
So do you think people want to find out what really goes on up here in this vinyl addict we're in? Vinyl addict? Attic? This is not being sponsored by PBR, by the way.
We'll figure it out.
All right, let's do like a little question. Let's let people into our inner. Did I spit beer on you?
Yeah.
Let's just let people into our. Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Next week you'll find out more about us and what brought us together.
Yeah.
That sounds intriguing.
Dangerous.
Oh my gosh, cliffhanger.
All right.
Okay, so thanks very much. That and that. And that.
Did you like the record that Randy
Did you like
shared?
Andy's weird makeup?
It took me like too much time and like 20 Q-tips, so.
Right, so. I'm gonna,
Never again.
That's a little freaky.
I was like trying for 60s and now I failed.
Yeah. Okay.
Failure.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.